Hi, everyone. Today I'm back and we're going to talk about mail art. Mail art is any art that you send through the mail. And I brought a slideshow to show you some examples. This is a great example of a simple piece of mail art. The artist has drawn a picture on the envelope. She's wrapped it up and stamped it with some twine and some wax and sent it to a friend. That would be a nice thing to get in the mail. Mail art started around the 1950s and 60s with an artist in New York named Ray Johnson. And he started mailing things to his friends and asking them to send them back or add things to them. This one says mail art is not a square, a rectangle, or a photo, or a book, or a slide. It's a river. And I think he meant that's because it moves around from place to place. It goes from person to person. So sometimes he would make a picture, like the bathtub on the right, and then send it to someone else and ask them to add things to it. And you can see on the left, several people have added different things to his picture, and then they sent it to someone else, and it kept going around. How much fun would that be? He had a whole collection of artists and friends that he did this with, and his letters went all over the place. During the pandemic, mail art has really taken off again. People are sending things all over because we miss each other and we can't see each other in person. So, sending mail is something fun to do, or even just dropping something off in someone's mailbox and not even having to send it through the mail system. Some people made projects and said, "Send me all your mail art." And this guy, Jason Brown, made a mail art project and said, "Send me art about my view from home." And this was during the pandemic. And here somebody made, this is a little mask and his name is Barney. It says Barney was made because he kept me company during COVID-19. And see, he was made out of cardboard box. And he sent him right through the mail, just stamped him on the back, and that was that. That's pretty cool. I'd like to get that in the mail. Here's another one that went to the same guy, Jason Brown. And looks like it might have been from his nephew. This is about our view from home during COVID. It says, "Mommy, what are we going to do today?" "We are going to be still." "Okay, I love you. I love you too." And that's a picture of what it was like for Dean, who's 6 years old, to stay at home with his mommy inside every day. And he shared that with his uncle. You can put anything through the mail. I didn't know this. This guy mailed a mailbox and it got there. This person mailed a piece of wood. They made a picture on a piece of wood and then just put a stamp on it and mailed it. And this artist, she did a little experiment to see what she could mail. All kinds of crazy things, like a Ziploc full of pencil shavings, and it made it. Almost everything she mailed made it. And this one is really funny. This is hair mail. She mailed a bag of hair. That's not something I would have thought of doing. So mail art can really be anything, but you can start with just a simple picture. This one is a picture of a little girl stacking blocks, but a lot of the blocks are stamps. So they used a whole bunch of really cheap stamps to put the postage on this and mail it. So mail art can be anything. What I would like you to do is make some mail art and send it to somebody, or drop it off at somebody's mailbox or porch or mail slot, whatever. You don't necessarily have to send it through the mail, but if you have a stamp and want to, I'm sure someone will be really excited to get a piece of art from you. So all you need is anything. You can, as we saw, you can use anything to do this. I used just a thick piece of paper. I made a mail art postcard that I'm going to send to my nephew in New Jersey because I think it would cheer him up. You know, he's at distance school just like the rest of us, and I think it would be fun to get something surprising in the mail. So I glued on some furry stuff that I had on here and some pieces of cut up old artwork that I didn't really like. So on this side, I glued on some more pieces of old paintings. It says I am mail art down here. And there's some drawings and a little message that's written in here. I got a stamp here because I'm actually going to send it. So it's not totally flat. It's kind of, rough, but like we saw, you can mail a piece of wood, so it doesn't have to be flat. So I'm going to send this out, or you could just walk it over to your friend's porch or whatever. So think of somebody that you want to send a little message to and find what you want. You could just use a simple piece of paper too in an envelope. Doesn't have to be complicated. Make some mail art and get it going out onto its path in the world. And you could also make something that says, take this and add to it, and then you pass it on to another friend. That would be fun too. So I can't wait to hear about what you make and who you send it to.